Alrighty, I think that's now working. Oh fuck. And I instantly kicked the cord out from under my headphones. That is a good start to any stream. Let's see. I have been figuring out a webcam option so you'll be able to see such shenanigans in future. German language. I do not prefer German. I only know a little bit of French at max. Hey Glaive. Finally give this one a go. Rumbles? Oh, I suppose yeah, because it was... How's the sound for you, Glaive? Can you actually hear everything alright? Web audio? Oh, I think that'll be fine. Definitely... I probably won't be skipping anything. Well, let's see the demo. Because how long's the actual game itself? What are you doing? Well, instantly, you've got the avatar angle, so code. Alright, classic. First thing you have to do in any sort of... Ooh, what was that? Ah, automatic jumping. Okay, that's cool. Wait, was that G to... 40 hours in click and quit. That's a pretty substantial game. Ah. It's interesting to have the like right click be your dodge. I'm not convinced by having G be the get to your next. I'm not surprised the game's got a while. I want to see what they do with that system. How did I become fire attacks? It's interesting they actually start you with a couple of hundred. Okay, so you can't skip, like, mandatory dialogue? Oh, and it automatically goes anyway. It's interesting they sort of drop you in and it's just like, well, I don't know who am I stopping or what it is in charge. I get an ulti? Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Do you think you'd just be able to open the gate? Just don't open the gates if you're trying to prevent someone? Hello, Hacker Man. I already have so many questions for what is happening. Ah, so that's how they do the melee and range. Because I was going to say, you were sort of mentioning it was like there was some like bullet heli sort of elements to it. So what looked like he was just processing some code. I don't know why that's necessarily lethal. So they've definitely put some hooks in on what the deal was that trapped him, who made the deal. Is this just a teleport, or? I imagine so. VRPs. Ah, so here's the ranged. Okay, so they go story hook, then tutorial. Oh, it does that like... You have to hold it down a bit to get accuracy. That's cool. I mean, any good story, especially if you're going to open with a plot hook, should... Oh, I just realized I should change the game in the thing. Cross code. But any good story should 100% actually answer the questions that they are asking of you. Is there not affected by gravity comes into this? Oh. Or is that just like a little thing to be like, hey, here's why you can just fire away and it doesn't really... Accuracy is less important. But aiming... Ricochet. Oh, and then it shows you... Oh, that's cool. That's gonna take a while to get used to. Ah. My aim needs some work. There we go. That's actually quite an intuitive system. I imagine there's gonna be a lot of... Like, hey, you have to remember these mechanics in this game. So is this... Now I suppose the first question I've got is this the Matrix? Or are they programmed? Because it's... I'd be very surprised. If it wasn't one of those. They're just real people. Okay, I imagine this is the parkour-y section? Yeah. Oh, that... Okay, that's... How does one get up there? That, like, jump is pretty cool. Can't do that? Nah. Ah, I just... Understandable. Okay, so it is definitely a... Okay, so you do definitely have to be on the same level for certain things. Which is pretty fair. Ah, I got your number. Okay, that's cool. That's pretty cool. Augment. Okay, so it isn't. Oh, ARG. Okay, well that makes things a little more interesting. I have to rapid fire those. Oh, that's not working as much as I'd like it to. Yeah. That would probably be why. Well, you'd think if it was an ARG, then the voice synchronization feature wouldn't necessarily matter unless these guys are not real, because you'd be able to, in theory, hear each other unless it's like... Oh, I suppose it depends what sort of augmented reality we're talking. If it's like some 3D treadmill you're in your home sort of thing. Or if it's like a visor. Mouse robots. I'm going to claim that ricochet shot that took out that mouse bot was totally intentional. If that's how fast they're moving, bloody hell. That is insanely quick. Thank God, like, I think that, honestly, the ricochet is more just to make sure you at least have the chance to get some lucky shots in. Oh, yeah, that's fair. Which is some of the most trippy, sort of sci-fi you can do. I absolutely love, like, one of my favorite, you know, sort of punks, because, you know, you have steampunk, diesel punk. 100% cyberpunk. Absolutely love it. Like Ghost in the Shell. Probably, or I'd have to say Ghost in the Shell is probably my second favorite anime of any description. First is Black Lagoon, if you've heard of that, and then third would have to be Cowboy Bebop. Take wild pot shots into the... Can you... if you get into a good rhythm, you can sort of rapid fire the... Oh, okay. So it's like first shot is... Oh, because I was like, oh, if you want to rapid fire, you always get that spread. But once you're there, that's pretty good. Which is very, like, I think I would way prefer that system, because otherwise it's like, you have to charge shot. dash. I mean, it can't be like one of these games without a dash. Okay, so it's your dodge. Well, I appreciate that they made the charge shot be able to cancel attacks. So you have the option of dodging or getting a good charge shot in. Just double checking if there's anything around. Because is there gear in this game? Like, you know, a classic RPG. Ah, okay, so that's a pretty close melee range. Which I mean is fair. And there's no... Ah, interesting. So if you charge... You can charge shot in there. That's going to take some getting used to. Oh, so there's... On top of that, there's like skill points, I imagine, and then you can sort of go melee or ranged. Or is it like more talent points? Oh, I just realized the HP is in the top right. That is valuable information. I always love games where you can do some good builds. Or at least just some... Well, here's the question. Is there like absurdly powerful builds that's just like you can't beat them, way too OP? Or is it just like, yeah, you can sort of play the way you want or mix and match? Although I also noticed the Naruto running. That is pretty professionally anime. Alright, grumpy old man. I don't know what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting, like, Slavic World War I military uniform with a jetpack. Oh, okay. That's probably the best way of doing it. Because then it's more of a skill thing, ultimately, than a build thing. I don't know what it is about flamethrower. Anything that emits flames and Old Betty. Because in StarCraft 2, I'm pretty sure Swan's jetpack, like, not jetpack, flamethrower turret that he can drop down is called Old Betty. Like, for some reason. For some reason. Which is such a weird connection to make. VIP dueling jam. So we're in a... So I'm a little confused. Oh, okay, so we're in a... I thought we were in a spaceship for a second, not like an actual ship. And then it's called the MS Solar. We were doing this all in the cargo hold of a cargo ship? What? Oh, did we just... This went out briefly to tell me that we should go... Yeah. Spheromancer class. Of the av... Oh, okay. And so clearly having a class is a very specific thing. Oh, do you have no limit on... Oh, there's the first speedrunning tech right there, is just always be dodging. So what are we looking? This is such nice art. This is super aesthetic. I imagine the G is a massively multiplayer online game. Physical formula are tightly connected to all 5 senses of the player. Huh. This just got wild quickly. Like, the fact that this is now being used as a memory treatment for the actual player of the game just got real meta very quickly. Oh, so this... I love how they're making the justification for, I imagine voice choices later on. What if Can I go up ladders? Nah. Yeah, my idea was destroying some of these. They couldn't have asked in a less creepy way. Ah, okay, that makes sense. Going for the wild trick shots right there. There's something satisfying about the movement, actually. I could get into this. I really appreciate, like, I like that idea as a mechanic. Because it's like, so often you get, like, very one-dimensional dialogue options. It's like, I'm the good guy, I'm the neutral guy, or like, objective evil. But actually having to sort of craft some... Try the bridge. Oh, so you actually unlock parkour. It's not just... it's not just the running and jumping. Alrighty. Do you know where the cap is? Somewhere in the cabins. Oh, go the first one first. Like, this is really nice attention to detail. Oh, and they do the... Oh, that's perfect. That's pretty meta to have someone playing a demo in the demo. Well, doesn't look like the captain's there. I don't want to go into... I also appreciate that there's bathrooms on every floor. It's like, oh, this is like a living area. Like, it's just... Like, quality pixel art is... It's hard to do, but it's manageable. Like, you know, if you have the skills to do it... Mwah. But actually getting the world to feel lived in, well, that's a little bit different. I feel like that was an unnecessary jump of the jetpack right there, but you know, sure. So I imagine this must be the first mini boss. Okay, so that's why I went to the balcony, just to do a quick. Just summoning these guys 10 times. Child's play. I can't believe you challenged me with something so basic. Keep your aim on the turret. Ah, okay, now this is... Oh, what? No. Okay, so you really have to sort of go in one direction. Alright. Alright, that curved. That curved. It's a timing thing. Alright, I'm improving at a minimum. It's getting that shot down. Pretty much have to wait for it to actually fire. Oh, bloody hell. Oh. Okay, good. I didn't actually... Yes, I do want an introduction on how that works. Ah. Alright, that's cool. I think I'll probably be using that a lot more. My timing isn't as good as it used to be. Yeah, the basics there are very solid. And there's a lot there to make combat interesting. So I think you're definitely spot on. Timing is the biggest thing. Alrighty. Visualizing a shield? That's cheating. That was okay. Once you've got all those little bits and pieces, that's pretty good. What is this? A Saiyan? What's a Super Saiyan doing here? I mean, there are player avatars, I suppose, but like if you're a game moderator, then surely you must have a lot more power here. Oh, what? Okay, so he just throws us in for a boss fight. We're getting against the mecha cargo crab. I'm glad he mentions just how confused he is as well. Because I can see its battle stats that match your level. Okay, there's the... Oh, and they do the... Oh, that's not good. Oh, of course he's stuck in that. Oh, yep. Thank God for the. Stop bullying me here. Okay, cool. So it's just a dodge him until the cart case opens. Come on, get out of there. Alright, now I'm getting this. Come on. Oh, I'm not even close to there. What? There we go. Oh, God. That was rapid succession. I'm enraged cargo crab 4. Bad place for you to be. Alright, we're getting out of there. I don't like this extra little bar in the bottom. I feel like that's a phase transition line. Probably guide him not towards. Well, that would look like I'm correct. He is now very angry. Does that mean he's just doing things quicker? Surely, come on, you've got to have a new phase. If you're glowing that red, surely you must have something more up your sleeve. No, apparently not. 3 combos in. Oh. Pushed it. Easy. Oh, thank God you get healed per phase. That is very helpful. Well, I mean, most games like this, because this is like a kind of Dark Souls-y-esque kind of game, most bosses are telegraphed. Oh. And that's the demo complete. That's good. Ah, so they do like the big decision trees. That's neat. I love that. I like. It's like a path of exile in a way. Oh, all right. Well, I think I have to play that now. That's no other choice. So I'm gonna have to buy that, and in fact, I'm going to make a note of it. I'm gonna write it down, in fact, so I 100% do it after the fact. Because I'm thinking of even streaming like Saturday, so, well, this same time, but yesterday. Or maybe even earlier yesterday. Because if I remember, it's fairly late for you at the moment. Obviously, it's not like my entire schedule's around you, but it's a good litmus test for the time in the US. That I vibe with that game very much. It is, quality. Now, bit of chill Final Fantasy. But yeah, I reckon I'll do a next Saturday for me. I'm not 100% sure what time it would be. Not 12. What am I doing? As I'm changing the title. Well, I mean, you're the one who mentioned that there were mods, and I was like, because if that's GM Island, then 100% they're mods. So that would be hilarious to see. Also, I ended up having to make a character because you can only transfer to a realm if you've logged into it. So I wanted to make 100% sure. Is I'm now on Sophia. And the fact that there are little queues going for it does give me hope that so far so good. I'm sort of tempted to check out the Archer. And also, connection excellent. Like every time I logged in before it was poor, so I need to relearn my timing in this game because I was always like this little bit delayed. Especially when it came to like AoE markers, it's like, oh, I have so much more leeway. Oh, I didn't get tickets this week, didn't I? Oh, no, I did. What do you know? Let's see. Constellation, and... Well, Constellation. Well. That's always so sad. Just random it. I do appreciate you get 3. And it's always like it's always a net positive. Oh, no doubt it'll grow. Which is, I mean, excellent. That's what you sort of want to see. Yeah, I'm sort of feeling, doing something evil and starting like a archer or lancer. Oh, been a hot minute. Need to re-figure out where all of my things are. Admittedly, there's been a fair amount of WoW playing, although because they just released the next phase, which had a couple more raids in it. All those raids instantly fell over. I was incredibly surprised with how easy they were. No, I've done the gun aesthetic, so I'm keen to see what the archer side is. As much as I'd love to do a Reaper or something later. Because I think I just want to start unlocking some options. Makes it a little easier to go out of your way to check out different things. I also want to see just how much that the bonus for that road to 80 is. Because I'm not sure when that goes away. That might be first patch. They were like... We finished... So there were 2 raids. Black Temple and Battle for Mount Hyjal. So we've now done them both twice. But we finished all of them first week. And like the last phase, it took us about it took us 2-3 weeks to finish them. And then another couple of weeks to get them on farm. And now they're just all on farm. Yeah, because it's like, I heard about it, and then I was adding, like, that's the game I'm playing on YouTube, and it was like 2015 or something. Or at least that's what it said there. I'm not sure when it's actually... if that is true. Because I'd be surprised if it was. Also, this is a real Monster Hunter vibe of armor. I've just sort of realized having a look at her. Oh. Well, I'm naked. It's never a good sign. Oh, that's right, they removed belts. Keep forgetting about that. I'll just be nude for a second. Oh, and I have to redo my bars. I wish you could... I imagine you probably could actually. There's like have a preset amount of... bars. And I'm trying to remember. I think there's a... Yeah, that dude sells some of like... Not basic gear, but at least some of the... You walked into me changing class, and every time you do, you have your gear set changed. And unfortunately, walked in just as I was on my way to buy pants. Which is always good fun. It's more reference material for the podcast stuff, which hopefully the podcast will go back at probably in March, because Josh is on site until the end of Feb. The absolute madman. Where are we? I should add a new set of gear. Well, I don't think I did that correctly. Fucking hell. Surely. No, okay. I accidentally... I'm just going to throw those away. There we go. Far more reasonable at the very least. I've got pants on. Archer time. Because I transferred over to the new server... Jay, I got the road to 80 buff, so I'm like, you know, I should probably do some leveling. That's true. I mean, we're in Gridania. Oh no, yeah, we're in Gridania. It's all about the nature and the living with the elements, man. And how better do you get close to the elements without being nude or in your undies? Apparently. Like, you have to have some dignity. I'll also mention the first ticket I did in the Ishgardian Restoration Front, I got this thing. I mean, I feel like everyone would have forgotten if you weren't, you know, directly looking forward to them. Because so far... Well, plus 406 XP. You know what? I am going to do the smart thing and even equip the other XP items. Because Minfina's ring, 30% up to level 80. Ho. Huge. %20 shit. Ah, interesting. So it's not just like a basic combo, it actually has some procs. And yeah, so I moved over to, I'm on Sophia now. Because thankfully, I don't think I have any, no I don't. Oh, is this one of the instant ones? Ground squirrels. No, I don't actually. I have no idea where you would get your hand on them either. Unfortunately, because like if those are old rewards for getting into what you call it, like English is failing me. Old pre-order rewards and whatnot, I'd be completely out of it, because came in. Oh yeah, pretty much all of not Endwalker, Shadowbringers was out. And I think I'm actually quite a big fan of them not having tons of like combos, because then it makes this like it makes it way more unique. Way more unique. Because I was so used to like even like, you know, Machinist. It was all about the combos. Do you have to actually do a quest for the Warrior of Lighthelm, or is it like just something you can sort of purchase? Oh, okay. If it's like till level 10, maybe not. Oh, wait. I have to go the other way. Especially with this road buff. Like, it's like 400, but 400% is an absurd amount of XP increase. I was expecting like, you know, oh, double. Or something like that. Not that much. Oh, that, like, you'd have had to have gone a long way back to have been pre-ordering an ARR. At that point, you've probably got the legacy. Oh, did I not give you that? Honestly, I probably should have given you the 360 view of the character. Because just for reference, Jay and Glaive, Jana J does helps me out with editing a lot of the scripts, so giving me review notes. So if you enjoy a lot of what I'm saying half the time, she's reworded it to make it a lot more clear. But she's also been helping with the podcast, because we've got some fancy new images that'll go alongside the next one, which will again be in March, because one of our guys is away at the moment, which is unfortunate, but c'est la vie. Oh, I mean, it may well be. Yeah, I won't spoil the art. It's too good to spoil just yet. Because I'll have to sort of make a new, like, consistent thumbnail. With it on it. Let's see. It'd be also interesting to actually do Archer, because this is like one of the OG classes. Where are you, targets? Okay, there's like 2 apiece. Nice. I also love that aesthetic of moving and shooting, because yeah, Aozi and Rambo is exactly what you look like. As much as, like, then again, it's really cool to, like, run around if you're a machinist with a gun, just one hand popping off people. But then there's just the skill of, like, that 360 archery. It's the Legolas aesthetic. 100% the Legolas aesthetic. Which you can't 100% get if you doing some firearm shenanigans. Oh yeah. I mean, which I can't really... Like, I absolutely love the machinist, especially considering that was the first one I leveled. But I'm curious to... Actually, I probably could just... where are my buttons? That's not it. Nah. I'm just clicking all the things until I find what I'm looking... There we go. P. P for actions and traits. That's it. Oh, because yeah, oh, bloody hell. I can't see the bard or the extra stuff. Okay, never mind. I was going to go, oh, let's have a look at what they get. It's like, nah. Wait, what? Because I got him to level 80 and got like the robot, and that's really cool. And if I remember, they actually got the... They got like a shotgun for their scatter shot, which is badass. That's absolutely insanely cool. I really appreciate they go out of their way to really make everything very different per class. Makes it far, far more interesting. Smells like tree spirit. God damn. I appreciate, like, I would love to know if this is the same joke in Japanese or not, because I don't know how much Nirvana really expand, you know, how big he was in Japan. Being said though, I was also like surprised by how big Bob Marley was in Japan. Because I have one friend who's very musically inclined, and she was like mentioning, oh yeah, no, Bob Marley's huge in Japan because he actually spent like years and years there doing music. And it's like, well, what do you know? Well, there's little bits of history. Oh, I don't know how I targeted you, but I'm sorry, you now die. Okay, I might be the one who's dying. But if I kill you, it's probably going to be tons of XP. I do remember that the leash range in this game is not very high. You put me to sleep, you dog. Who let trees put people to sleep? Yeah, I was thinking it would have been... Honestly, I love when a localization team is willing to just have some fun with it. Because going with a Nirvana reference is pretty... I mean, it's cool. It's pretty cool. I haven't actually looked at a lot of the names, because I imagine there must be so many hidden references like that. What else have you got? Yeah, so, it always wigs me out that you have like level, like that was a level like 2 quest or something. Oh, that was Breaking Buddy. There was another one. Just 1,000,001 references. Which is what I love about MMOs. They're so big that it's like you always come across something new. Well, 100%. I would be very surprised if there wasn't a similar sense of humor. It would just be stuff that your lay Japanese person would understand, as opposed to something that a Westerner would be more familiar with. But then again, I don't 100% know all of the crossovers. I'm not as knowledgeable for on the intricacies of Japanese culture as I probably could be. But then again, I'm not familiar with a great many cultures, unfortunately. Because there's a lot of them. So I'd love to learn Japanese, but it's like, I also like to learn so many other things. So you sort of have to prioritize in a way. I think the next thing I'd want to study is philosophy. After that, going to uni for language might actually be a cool idea. Well, I think that's probably the biggest thing with localization is actually making sure that all of the themes and the lore lines up. That everyone is on the same page when it comes to the game. But things like, you know, a quest name or a fate name, sometimes you can have a bit more leeway in. Understandably so, I would say. Because ultimately, I reckon a lot of people would miss out on it. Which is like a big problem in, say, World of Warcraft, because it's like, so many people don't read quest text. And even like, I don't, personally. A lot of the, like, I'll skim read some of it for specific details. But otherwise, it's a case of like, oh, you know, why would I? That is a hunt of some description. When I first started playing this game, when we saw a level like 50 in the starting zone, we were, me and my friend who I was doing it with, highly confused. Highly confused. Well, I think the thing with Final Fantasy is there's no quest text, really. Or Final Fantasy XIV, there's no quest text necessarily. It's dialogue, which is a wildly different set of, like, a wildly different approach to doing quests. And it works absolutely phenomenally, especially for a narratively driven game. Which is a shame because it's like, oh, I'd love if other games did this. Admittedly, Guild Wars 2 does a little bit of it. But Final Fantasy is absolute king of it. Being said though, I'm probably going to do a bit of a stream at the Guild Wars 2 expansion because they've finally announced a release date for Feb 28. So I'll probably get the simulation pending guys on and do the full thing. Run through of it. Yeah, translating that entire, like, grape quest, like a lot of the AR comparison is a bit good luck. Oh yeah, but yeah, Guild Wars 2 is, then again, you know, just on narrative style, Final Fantasy 7 itself is technically hard to compare. But it's worth looking at approaches because they're still in the same boat in a way. Which I think is the important detail. Oh, see ya. See ya then. Thank you again for doing editing the script. I'll do my recording probably later today, depending how my voice goes. Because the next script, because, you know, if you come to the stream, you deserve the insider scoop. Is doing a bit more looking at the industry side of things, and I've decided to discuss if NFTs have a place in gaming. And the synopsis is that the way they're currently doing it is stupid. You know, like the whole Ubisoft thing of, oh, you know, I can just open a marketplace and sell skins. It's like, well, selling skin, like having a marketplace for players, fair enough. You know, look at Steam. They've been doing that for ages. Having it be NFTs and crypto based, unnecessary and dumb, in my opinion. So my synopsis is going to be basically that, well, why don't we just make the games themselves NFTs and then trade games? Like a la how you'd sort of do it with CDs back in the day, if you're old enough to remember the CD days. Because I feel like that would be a cool use case for NFTs. Because it's such a... Like, it's understandable why they're so synonymous with online art, but it's such a... It's a tech that's been taken over by shysters. Yeah, I feel like Guild Wars 2 is far more open-ended in that way. But it also just sort of lacks a bit of direction. So unless you sort of have very dedicated path, like goals, then you're sort of at a loss. Whereas a Final Fantasy 14, it's a lot more directed. Like, you pretty much always know, I could be doing... Like, open up the roulettes. Okay, cool. I could be doing one of these. I could be doing Chloe's journal. I should get another one of these, actually. Like, there's always a little bit more direction on what you're doing. Whereas if you don't know what you're doing in Guild Wars 2, yeah, good luck. What else I have? I always love the archer, like, I need a whole brace, I think the term is. Again, then again, I might be entirely wrong because I'm not an archer. But it's one of those things where it's just like, how difficult would it be to get into archery? There's always one dick in every guild. Also, I just realized I appreciate the dip in music whenever they're around. I mean, if you enjoy shooting arrows down range at a target, though, is it really wasting money? Because I think there's actually a few ranges around where I'm based. Well, I mean, if you haven't wasted money yet, then you've done a good job. Oh, cool. And the archer, that's a neat detail. Oh, I should probably just do the next quest, eh? Oh, what's wrong? What, like, why don't you like Bard? Because I've seen like a little bit of gameplay with them because they have all the different songs and stuff like that. Focus alone. I'll have to use heavy shot this time. Okay, well that's not very good considering there's only a 20% chance for it to proc. I think, personally for me, when it comes to like D&D style things, I absolutely adore heavy armor, big weapons. That's always my personal aesthetic. Let's see, can I just load arrows into you until... Oh no, I don't have to do a heavy shot. Okay, never mind. I thought that was sort of part of the quest. Ah, there you are. I see the sparkles. Wait. I thought they still used bows. It was just like a... Or do they also get like a secondary offhand harp thing? Or are their bows harps aesthetically? Oh, okay, sorry, I misread what you meant. Okay, that makes sense. That's... It is actually kind of interesting why they didn't just make the bard their own thing. But then again, I suppose they didn't really think that there was enough of a difference between a archer and a ranger. Because have there been ever been like a major FF class? Because they've done advanced classes before. Like, it's not sort of the most unique thing to 14. But has there been sort of a ranger-esque class prior? Because I wouldn't be surprised if there had been. But what's this? Bloodletter. Oh, and that's an ability. Okay, so that's my... Cool. Actually, apparently, Archer might be one of the best classes to get into early, because I love having an instant ability very early on. Makes combat so much more interesting. Ah, okay, so there is precedent in a Final Fantasy MMO to actually have the ranger. Then, actually, I'd be very curious to see what their rationale was, because they're pretty good at not doing something for the, you know, the shits and gigs. So there must be a reason they went with ranger that not... or they went with the bard, not the ranger. Sorry. Because otherwise it's just being insane. Oh, that was the 6th. Oh, nice. Pez. Because I'm keen to try out how the bard works. Because they do a really good job in 14 of making all of the classes feel very unique. which is pretty much exactly what you kind of want. Because if all the classes felt samey, like a retail World of Warcraft where everything has, like, you know, the stun, a stun and interrupt, like they have a very similar kit, just flavored differently. Oh, yeah, 11's a bit stranger of an RPG in total anyway. Because you have more tons of skill points, don't you? Down 8 tree slug. Oh god, you can tell this is an ARR class because half the quests go and kill things. Thank god they get way more creative for their later classes. Or at least they're class quests. That's I suppose the important differential. Oh, up to level 13. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, I've seen sort of like some interesting things on Final Fantasy XI, especially considering it's still getting actually content updates, which seems absolutely wild to me. It's been such a long time since it's been around, because it was like 2002 or something, absurdly young. Well, yeah, I'm not surprised the weirdest thing would have come out a few months ago. The fact that something came out a few months ago is wild. I'd love to know how big the Final Fantasy XI team is. Yeah. I mean, if you have a game that goes for 20 years, if you're not doing something big for the anniversary, I don't know what you're doing, just in general. That's such a long time. Especially when you've got another MMO running. That's the big thing. Like, I'd love to see... Oh, if they did an expansion, what in God? Like, when was the last expansion for the game? That must have been ages ago. Eons, in fact. There's no way there's been a recent expansion to 11. I could be wrong. 100% could be wrong, but surely not. Definitely nothing like an Endwalker or something. Ooh. What do you mean? Like, here's the thing: is would they do a free expansion? Because I wouldn't be surprised if there was like content patches where they just add a little bit onto what's already there. But an expansion's a pretty big thing. Like, an expansion, at least in Final Fantasy's context, or most MMO's context, really pushes the boundary of power for another level. Well, I mean, to be fair to 11, Final Fantasy 14 hasn't had anything Endwalker-sized before Endwalker. Like, their expansions just keep getting bigger and bigger. God knows where it'll go to next. Okay, so they actually had like a finale to the story, or like have they transitioned to the next? Story arc? Because if they've actually done that before, I think that's going to be a really interesting look at how Final Fantasy XIV might do it. That... I'm honestly, at this point, I'm not surprised you'd be aiming for that long. Because I mean, think of it this way. What, next year's the decade anniversary of Final Fantasy. Next year's the decade of ARR, and you can sort of almost differentiate Final Fantasy XIV into pre and post AR. World of Warcraft's coming up on 20 years in 2024, and that's like an expansion away. Well, that's at the end of the next expansion, I imagine. If all the rumors and the conversation are to be believed, that's gonna... Their next expansion is gonna be next year. Or late this year, sorry. Paid, non-paid expansions? Yeah, that's not too bad, actually. If they did another full paid... Like, if they announced a paid expansion on the 20th anniversary, that'd be interesting. I'd love to see what the cutscene trailer thing they'd do for that would be. Because, man, like, Final Fantasy has got some quality cutscene work in it. Which is such an underappreciated art. Okay, so yeah, a fair while. Halfway into Heavenswood was a good long chunk ago. You're not who I want to talk to. What is archery? What a weird question with a bow on your back. And the city bit in the forest from the people. Quality dialogue as always. A new leveling system. How have they added a new leveling system since that? What? Master rank which takes subclass that half your max. Ah. How does the class system work for it? Because that must be equally crazy if they've got all of these subclasses going on. What did I get? I got my hands. No, I'm just gonna go kill things. Because is it similar to FF14 that you've got? Okay, so it's main class, subclass, but do you then get to choose your subclass? Because I think Glaive was mentioning a while ago that you had a bit more freeform abilities to change odds and ends. I mean, he's called the Dragon, the Dragoon. It's just a dragon with an extra O, so makes sense for it to have a dragon. Okay, so I imagine then you can subclass anything, and then it's the case of the combination of class effects do something. So something extra. Like, you know, going, say, White Mage Paladin wouldn't make you, like, the best healer ever, because you could go Dragoon, White Mage, and then have the Dragon help heal, which has got its own benefits to it, as opposed to doing another set of classes. Which is a very interesting system. It actually gives you way more freedom than one would other expect. Well, I mean, that's not too bad having to level each thing, because it's like, it's the same thing in 14. And admittedly, basically every game, you have to sort of level individually. Unless there's like a particular, like leveling's particularly annoying in 11. I mean, thankfully in 14 it's just like, well, once you get to level 15, which shouldn't be too long, considering it's... This buff is absurd. It's just, you know, start doing some roulettes, boom, you're max in 2 days. You know, it's pretty quick. So it's sort of closer to a WoW in a way. Because in World of Warcraft, it's like killing quests are an excuse to kill things, or at least in the earlier versions of the game, your classic. Which I sort of prefer. It's... You know, if you're sort of playing that sort of game, like an MMO, it's, you just sort of want to shut your brain down, play, you know, kill things. Oh, okay, if you die and lose XP, alright, that's the line. Like, it's somewhat it's sometimes enjoyable having, like, you lose things on death mechanics. But it's such a dangerous game because, oh my god. Sometimes if you lose enough at one point, it's just demoralizing. Let's see. Move that. Original game. Oh, okay, thank god. I was about... Like, yeah, I reckon you're definitely right that old MMOs, just old RPGs in general did that sort of thing super often. So, thankfully it's only sort of it was a temporary thing. But I am going to buy some gear and do some roulettes. So, I'll be back in 1 minute just to get a drink of water. Because I've underestimated... I was chatting with a mate this morning, so I've already ruined my voice. But I will be BRB 1 minute. Now I'm back. Oh, damn. If you're still around, Jay, good night. And if not, if you will rewatch it, good night and hello to where you are. Oh, good heavens. Also, as a random question. Anyone play Stellaris, per chance? Because my friends and I were going to start a more consistent game at some point soon. Oh, of course it's level 16. Because we want to do a fairly big game because it's like a, you expect an attrition rate of some players. And I've decided to make my nation based on the Soviet Union, but the Red Alert version of the Soviet Union. So I don't know if you know the well, not line, but the Command and Conquer 3. The Command and Conquer 3 section where Tim Curry announces that he's going to retreat to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space. I'm basing it if he had gone to space. Or, you know, Tim Curry in space. Which I personally think is a good meme. I can't do it. You know what? This deserves...
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
He's too good. He's too good at that. But that is going to be the entire basis. Oh, it's level 6. Ah, bugger. That is going to be the entire basis of my Stellaris Empire. Is void-dwelling Soviets. Because I always love doing, like, you want to have a theme for custom empires, which is why I absolutely love Grand Strats. Is you can do some wild things like that. Oh, he is the face of someone who is having fun in that series. I mean, I really wish they did more live actiony stuff. Absolutely wish they did more of it. Because just imagine if, like, definitely not a Final Fantasy 14. But, you know, at this point, like a Call of Duty or something, just do like a small 4-minute campaign, 4-hour campaign, but have some real real cutscenes. I reckon I'd just shoot them all regardless. But honestly, all of the cutscenes in that game are phenomenal. Honestly, FMV and a lot of old Western animation as well just sort of disappeared. Like, I don't know if you've seen, like, Atlantis, the Forgotten City. The original, like, Prince of Egypt. Like, some of those old-style animation... Treasure Planet, that's one that disappeared. Like, that's underappreciated to the nth degree. And actually, unironically, one of my favourite movies, and I think it's a Wheaton film, actually. Titan AE. And if you haven't seen it... Oh, highly recommend it. Highly, highly recommend it. The AE stands for After Earth. And the whole thing is like a, these aliens just came and blew up Earth. And we just became, and it was like a dysphoria kind of thing where it's like humanity's basically all over the place. Pretty much drifters. There's no like, it's like a refugee population and they just go everywhere. Like some people are in just floating convoy-esque kind of things. Other people just integrate here and there. But these aliens, just for, you know, whatever reason, and I won't spoil it, are just trying to hunt down humanity. And humanity's last hope is the Titan, which can create a planet, which is similar to Earth, which was, as mentioned, blown up. But the animation style, oh, love it. Definitely not as good as some like hand-drawn anime styles. So I'm trying to think, because I don't know if you've seen it. There's a film called Redline, which is real solid. And it's all on YouTube actually for free, which is equally wild. But it's like a racing one, all like the old hand-drawn anime style, and it's like, oh, this is an aesthetic treat. Except there are just titties that come out of nowhere at one point, and it's just like, this was... I knew there were some sexualized female characters, but I didn't expect that. But otherwise, I mean, then again, I can't complain too much about the addition of titties, but you get my point. If you're not expecting them, it's sort of an interesting addition. Yeah, cell-based animation. That's the... one of the keys. But yeah, like a lot of the... Like, it looks visually impressive, but there's a missing element of love, in a way. Like, attention to detail. Like, there's just something missing. Without that sort of more personable style, or personal style. Which is a shame, because it's just like, that older stuff, beautiful. I was sort of mentioning it earlier, Ghost in the Shell. Oh. If I could have a robot body right now, sign me up. Even if it's as like cooked as they make it look. And they do it so quality. It's, yeah. You know, sometimes there are a few things where you're like, you know, reject modernity, embrace tradition. And I don't know if you've seen the memes, but it's like a little bit of a lower key one, but like the little Dark Age edits. Oh, some of those are pretty schmick. Yeah, that's actually a good way of thinking of it. It is just like... Just that, yeah. A level of dedication and desire for it. Oh, hello, random person. Understandable. So I think the thing is, like, if you're hand drawing something and you're spending so much time sort of looking at it, you're more inclined to start adding in little details, because it's like you become far more in tune with it, in a way, I suppose. Like, you don't spend that much time on something without getting to know it. Might be a way of putting it. Because there are some things where you really pick up so many more details. Because one thing I still, like, I've watched an entire video on, like, the background details of, like, why the background of Neon Genesis Evangelion was, like, top tier. And I still haven't seen it. It's, like, one of those things where it's, like, it's always on my list, but I never get the time to. Which I might even find, I'll go out of my way to find it and do it after stream or later today. Because, like, someone was trying to explain that it's like, what Star Wars was to the West is like what Evangelion is to Japan. In terms of sort of cultural impact. Which is not surprising, like, so it's like, oh, I need to see what the hype's about. Yeah, I absolutely love the second movie as well, but most people seem to have mixed feelings about it, which is kinda silly. Because, yeah, the first movie was absolutely great. The series, I reckon, is definitely underestimated as well. Because you keep forgetting there's like a full TV series on it. At least I'm 90% sure there was. Because isn't there full, like a... Because there's Evangelion movies and then there's the full TV series, isn't there? Because I think it's like one of those things where it's like you don't know where to start. More than anything. Because like for other anime, I wouldn't get into a Naruto or One Piece at this stage because they're pretty long series at this stage. Oh yeah, and I like. Maybe people don't want to see human in a... What would you say? A cyberpunk world? But it's sort of like... That's always a big part of the... a big part of the theming around it. And cyberpunk just more generally a big part of the themes. Because the whole idea is it's like, well... What is humanity? And then approaching it on the fact that it's like, well, just because you're highly cyborg and you're highly robotic doesn't mean you're not any less than human. Yes, standalone complex, that's the ticket. So I remember seeing that as a kid and I was like, oh my god. This is so good. Unironically, I want the cyberpunk transhumanist future. Yeah, and each of them approach it in a different way as well, which is just refreshing. Because it is like, it's such an interesting philosophical argument. Or question, I suppose. Because then, I suppose the idea is, and it's very hard to tell, it's like, where do you draw the line between man-machine? Do you remain human if you're 100... Like, where is it? And then you get into the nature of the soul, which is a whole thing unto itself. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. Well, yeah, actually, I think that's also another big part. Is it looks at, well, how would a society with this setup run? Because, you know, you don't have... Like, a lot of the people you see on the day-to-day in Ghost of the Shell have augments. Like, I'm trying to remember the scene in the second movie where Barto is going to go talk to the Yakuza. And it's like, yeah, sure, they're Yakuza. So they'd probably have a bit of money behind them. But they're also just grunts. But they all have optical implants, which he then manipulates to blind them and then fucking shoots them up. But it's just a case of, well, what are your own memories? How much of you is programmed? Well, I suppose that, yeah, and then I suppose going back to the point I was going to make, is that no society can have a bunch of people with brain implants and not change at a societal level. That's not how society works. Jinro. Oh, I think I've seen some clips of Jinro, because they're like it's the one with like for lack of a better word, the Nazi power armor. With the like really heavy two-handed machine guns. Because I think I've seen some clips of it. And maybe an AMV or something. That's another one that's high on the list. Because I've finished my because my girlfriend and I were on a stint of watching Ghibli films because she hadn't seen very many of them. So I was like, oh, you know, let's start going through the catalog. So you know your My Neighborhood Totoro, Spirited Away. Started watching a few that I hadn't actually ended up seeing, with like Princess Mononoke, which I don't know how I hadn't seen it beforehand, because that was really, really solid. Oh, what else? Amaro, I think, was another one. And I'm trying to remember the little one. It's the one with the little people. I don't think that was Amaro. Oh, what was it? Because we saw quite a few. So I think I can expand the horizon a bit. Because the next one I think I'll have to... The next one I want to go... Like, I reckon the next series I'll probably want to go through again. It's hard. Because I haven't seen Alpha Complex or the Ghost in the Shells ones for ages. So if I can get my hands on that, that might be first. But then again... Started watching Cowboy Bebop again last night because some of it, like, we're at a mate's place and we just had it on in the background. And I was like, oh, I forgot how quality this is. So rewatching that would be good. Checking out Wolf Warrior. Or Wolf Brigade, sorry. Would be equally top. I don't think I saw Meet the Yamadas. Or maybe I did. I'm just going to give this a quick Google. So... No, that's not what I saw. What a weird style. Oh, sorry, Fridgeman, you crosscode was at the start of the stream, so I will give you the spoiler. Absolutely adored it. So, because I was like, oh, I saw some videos. Was like, oh, I'm not 100% sure. And then Glaive pointed out there was a demo, which is so rare. Like, there aren't very many games that do a demo, especially on Steam. Oh, don't worry, there'll be more crosscode. There will be more crosscode. So, I mean, you can go to the start of the stream and check out my reaction. recommend you do. But I reckon I'll probably start doing a mini series of it. So there'll be, keep a lookout. There'll definitely be some more crosscode, probably start of last week. Oh, not last. Yes, I'll go back in time and stream it. Now, I'll probably stream roughly this time, but yesterday for wherever you are is probably the best way of putting it. Because, yeah, I don't know all of the timings for everywhere. At least from an Australian point of view. Because it was a good game. So I did all of up to the cargo crab boss. Quality game. I would say I was a bit iffy, but then they gave me the shield. Because it's like, I'm alright at dodging. My timing's not bad. But the shield, the shield's my style. Like I sort of mentioned, if I'm playing a D&D. Oh, all the way in Perth. Oh, so, yeah, you're 2 hours. Yeah, you're 2 hours behind. I'm over in New South Wales. So it's 1 PM for me. So it'd be, yeah. So 11 AM Saturday is when I'd be streaming Crosscode. For Australia time, anyway. And I'll actually start the main quest now that the crab boss has been officially defeated. Skillfully, I might add. I may be a prodigy of the game. But yeah, just the look at everything after the fact. Oh. I absolutely love the look of that skill tree. I reckon, depending how quick we get around to that, that'll be interesting to explore. So, yeah, no, I'll after this stream, I'll probably throw up the like a scheduled like a scheduled stream thing, and yeah, that should be you can put a reminder on it for you. Because I'm definitely keen to give it a go. Interesting that two of the 4 styles are defensive ones. Because in that way, it's a case of, well, I normally prefer to be way more aggressive. Like, give me tons of damage very quickly, which I think would be probably oh. It's either going to be melee or the machine gunning, because that was pretty hectic. Oh, I have a hunt for these people. And then you got all the gear on top as well, which would be interesting to see. So I'm keen. I'm definitely keen. And then probably continue 12 on the Sunday. So this time, just taking a break to to relax after the last Esper boss, because that hurt my soul. That one did. I mean, fair enough. Like, no, it's an Esper fight. It's meant to be difficult, but I wish there was a little more indication that the ads had HP, because after that I was fuming. Okay, I've bitten off more than I can chew here. Well, considering they open with the special move of, like, suck in people and then just fire slash bomb them. Like, that's pretty dope. That is really dope. Oh, I'm not surprised that it gets wild. So I've been chatting with Glaive a fair bit, and he's sort of been going, it gets. Oh, those little hints that it gets pretty crazy. Oh, mate, you've come to the right place. Yes, oh yes, you were there, Koki. Oh, that was deathly silent. I think the big thing I'm going to do, because I bought a ton of gambits, is I'm just going to look up some meta gambits to put on some people and just roll with it like that. Because, yeah, at the moment, we're in the Final Fantasy XII playthrough. Just beat Matthias, and we're on the way to Arcadia. So I think I ended around where the Moogles were repairing some variety of bridge that I required to get across. Well, yeah, it was sort of an interesting opener, because it was like, oh, you brought out ice enemies, well, I'm going to bring out fire. I'm going to light up my fists and do fire damage. And it's like, okay, well, I mean, cool. Like, what's going on? What's going on? So it was sort of an interesting pacing decision. Yeah, so Salika Wood's exactly where I am at the moment. In that playthrough, which has been so much fun so far. Honestly, that entire temple was such a pain in the ass. The fact that you go through this entire thing, like, do your U-turn to go fight a boss, which then the boss wasn't bad. Turn a statue, and then it doesn't really tell you that you have to then go back around the loop and do 2 more statues to point back at the center. Like, surely I could have... You know, give me a bit more of a hint beforehand and let me have done the other ones before. Like, that was like a tedious filler section. Which is a shame, because, like, the story is still quality. Like, god damn. I'm still an absolute love of it. Like, there will be some variety of video on... Oh yeah, there'll be a video on Final Fantasy XII of some description. I just need to figure out what that's going to be. Oh, Deepcroft. Yeah, I haven't done this in ages. Oh, that's a cool ability. Oh, if that's the biggest slog and I've survived it, then thank God. The rest of the game is back to sort of where it was. It was in a really good place, I found, for the majority of it. So if it returns to that, I'm going to be very, very, very happy. Oh, nice. They got him. Because it's like, I really enjoy the game, but sometimes it can be frustrating. And I reckon once I figure out the gambits a bit, it'll be less so. Because it's like, you watch what I was doing during that Mateus fight, and it was just like, half of it was in the menu, just applying status unbuffs, you know, status removal items onto people, and it's like, bloody hell. Just let me attack you, for God's sakes. But yeah, I'm definitely I'll enjoy going back to it. I'll probably do a bit more grinding as well, because it's like it'll be nice to be a couple levels ahead. Because that fight was probably the worst, but the like it was like a like a jungle dragon kind of thing that came after you become friends with the well, not friends with the Viera, as much friendly with the Viera as you can get, but it's after the, was it Bahamut? The like dog with the floating collar, like yeah, the dog with the floating collar kind of boss. When the Viera had her, what you call it? The like mist beast controlling her. Because I remember doing that fight and was like, oh, this is alright, this is a cool boss. Yeah, the Elder Worm. Well, I must have, like, did they mention that? Because I talked to the Viera on, like, the zone before, and it was like, oh, hi, Outlander. Oh, that, yep, no, yep, Tiamat, not Bahamut. I just remember it was, like, one of the big dragon names where you're like, I didn't expect that dragon name to pop up here. But it did. Cool. Because that was an alright fight. And then you did the Elder Worm one after the fact, and it's just like, why are you putting confuse and sleep on all my guys? Please stop. Just let me have control of my character. And the game was just like, nah, you can get stuffed, mate. And it's one of those things where it's just like, have I just, yeah, I feel like I just need to set up gambits. I feel like all the classes I've got set up are acceptable. Like, there's no absurd ones. Oh, hey, Power, how's it going? And a lahi to you too. Although we are a far way at level, 19 now, to the good old dwarves. Oh, it is optional. I didn't know it was optional until it was pointed out to me after I'd killed him. Because I went into the arena for him, and like, you know, you get this little animation with rocks falling down, but apparently the detail I missed was there rocks falling down on where you're going, not leaving. So I could have left at any time and just gone the long way around, but I didn't. And fought him. Yeah, I think because there's like a longer way around, so it's like you have to fight like a ton of trash mobs or something on the way, but I think apparently there was a way around. At least that was what I was told. Like, you get like an absurd amount of gil for it, but at the same time, I think I would have rather just saved myself the pain in the ass. And yeah, Remedy has been a very good friend of mine so far. But I mean, so has been having a really good white mage, because I've been just like, anytime I see a white mage spell, I pick it up, 100%, grab it, make sure I can cure any status effect. At this point, I'm almost regretting not having Fran be a what you call it, white mage cross as well. Thankfully she's got some white magic. But it's just like any healing spell I can put on anyone, the better. And then I'll just have Vaan carry hard with the katana, because it was also pointed out, and I didn't realize this, that the katana also scales off both physical and magical, like, you know, potency. So, because I had been avoiding getting, like, magical potency increases, because I was like, I'm using a sword, like, why would I need that? Turns out, when that was pointed out to me, I just got all of, like, tons and tons and tons of them, because I got the double LP accessory on Vaan. Purchased, like, 5 or 6 of the magic potency ones, and I was like, oh, my damage has gone up by, like, 300, 400 a hit. Well, who could have seen this coming? So, Vaan is a Foe Breaker Bushi cross. I'm trying to remember all my ones now. I think Balthier is Machinist, and it was then pointed out that Machinist is the worst job for him because I think animations or something like that. But his Machinist, yeah. So Bushi is Katana guy. Then there's Balthier, who's Machinist, and I think he's Ushi, the one with the spear. Because then I can get tons of cheap battle lore on him, so I can just start rat-a-tat-tatting. Which he's been doing very good at. Fran is like a... I think she's a red... She's a red mage crossed with a monk. Yeah, Ulan. That's the ticket. So yeah, Fran is red mage monk. So I've been getting tons of like health bonuses on her, because I think I've really appreciated how much getting, you know, plus a couple hundred health here and there really helps. Like a lot. So that's been very good. Oh, just having a versatile mage. Canelo is a... Oh, she's a time mage crossed with... I think she's crossed with a black mage, actually. So she's my real heavy magic chick. Oh, that's right, there's that thing. I need to get around to doing a lot more of that, actually getting back into that script work. Because my, I'll duck on occasionally to sort of improve the... Get a couple of scripts to improve the gear on my Dark Knight, which is still my main. I absolutely love it. But no, I've been ducking back to WoW for a bit at the moment, because yeah, Phase 3 came out with the new raids, but it also has the Netherwing daily. Oh yeah, just set of dailies, and if you haven't seen the reward, I'm just gonna... Google it. There. Like, that's the amount you get for doing the Netherwing quest chain, and it's like a 20-day daily grind, and I still need to like do mine for the day because it's absurd. But it's such a good mount. I'm also very keen for 6.1 because that's when the housing opens up for the new realms, because it wasn't immediately available. Because I'm just like, I want to buy a house, man. I've got 6 mil. I've got enough for like pretty much any small house that I want, and I think I'm set on the mists. But absolutely, I think the mists is 100% where I'm gonna go house hunting. Oh yeah, actually the alliance raid is very keen for the alliance raid. Oh, I think the big thing as well is that we really haven't seen much from the 12. Like, they get mentioned here and there, but it's like, eh. Oh, I think a lot of these... It'll be interesting. Like, yeah, the housing thing's going to be interesting. Because, I mean, I think only half of Ishgard goes to the lotto. I think a lot of the old Mist stuff might, like, all the old stuff in, like, the Mist, the Goblet. Will all just be, you know, first in, first out. Or dibs. Yeah, and the Elemental. That's the other big one. Well, I mean, I do have a lore video that has a look at the 12, so you know, yeah, have a cheeky look. I really like doing lore. I really like doing the lore videos, but it was like, I think it just confused the YouTube algorithm too much. So I'm like, I might do them on like the blog because I need to do something more with that because I keep getting right on it, which doesn't make for a good blog, admittedly, but that'll be another one of my things. Oh yeah, like the way they do the system is so trash. But hopefully, because every single available plot, or every plot in the game is available, I'll be able to sneak one. Surely I must be able. Then again, I might just get the time that the patch releases and just, like, make sure I am on at that point. And just get in on it. Oh, Francis, you get the... Let's see. Yeah, just... Even if it's like 4 in the morning for me, just wake up, get in on it, and get one of the houses. Because I think I'd buy the house and then I'll even stream the like house decoration. Because I did a little bit with the apartment. Like I gave the apartment system a bit of a go, but I was like, oh, I'd rather just do this with a full house because then you have to get rid of all your shit in your apartment before you can vacate your apartment so you can then leave. It's such a pain. Oh yeah, no, it's actually perfectly reasonable. I think Endwalker released 8 PM for me, which was super convenient. Couldn't get in for a bit, but you know, once I was in, really nice. Although that launch experience was not as high quality as it could have been. Because honestly, like, say what you want about World of Warcraft, their expansion launches, the last couple of expansions, for both Classic and Retail, have been really schmick. Like, for the Dark Portal, so for, you know, the Burning Crusade, there's the Dark Portal, and that's where you go through to go to the Outland. Everyone was in server, and it was a case of, like, everyone was in server, and you could just, at, like, 8 AM, the portal opened. Like, you could see the portal just turn green. The quest opened, and it was like, oh, you just jump straight into it. It wasn't like a patch day, and then when you log in, the new expansion's there. It was super smooth, like, impressively smooth. And they did a similar thing with Shadowlands. I mean, I think probably the big thing with Shadowbringers is that they had the capacity. Like, they barely had the capacity, they barely have the capacity now, considering, like, I just logged in and there are still bloody queues. Like, a very short queue, mind you. A very, very short queue, like 13 people. But the fact that a new server has a queue already is an impressive... That's the most Final Fantasy thing I've seen in a while. But, like, that's impressive. My bet is still 100% that we're going to do all of... Like, we're going to visit everyone around, and then we're gonna go to Mericidia. I 100% reckon Mericidia is where we're heading to next. And it's going to be a dragony... my bet, next expansion is around dragons. And that the 12 are going to make more and more of an appearance. And the 12 is going to be like the next overarching, like, cosmic force that we're dealing with. Wait, what happened with Shadowbringers? Was Raban just absolutely swamped? No, sorry. Oh, did I say Shadowbringers? Sorry, yeah, Stormblood. Oh yeah, no, COVID ruined, absolutely cooked so much of it. Same because like, well, COVID delayed the release of the Australian servers. Like, and doing that alone would have drastically made the launch so much easier. Oh yes, I think I remember doing that when I went through Stormblood. You've got me in anticipation here. Oh. Oh, that's horrific. I'm just gonna fly away from those guys, so I have to deal with them. Honestly, like, on average, the Final Fantasy XIV community is better, but there are still dickheads. It's Raban and Little Raban are the extreme challenges of Stormblood. I'm glad they learned their lesson in Shadowbringers was a much more cruisy run. Because for reference multi-fridge, I came in that big wave of people in like July, August last year. So it was just like, Shadowbringers 6 point, well not 6 point, what would have that been? Heavensward, Stormblood, so 4 point, well technically ARR, so 5.5. So just went through the entire story. So nice. I have to get through a certain point. Beach, son of a beach. Oh Lord. Because I've always heard people talk about Stormblood being their least favorite expansion, and I'm starting to see that maybe it might have just been the start experience was not great. Dude, there was a part. Like shafted in a story way, or how? What kind of shafted? Because it definitely had a very interesting. Too much. I mean, yeah, it was an interesting reveal, but then again, we didn't. I don't think we spent enough time with Lise prior to her taking off the mask to be like, oh, I knew or saw this coming, which I think, admittedly, is more of a fault of me not playing like 1.0, which admittedly not a lot of people did. So I can't take much blame there, I want to say. Ah, okay, well, I'm going to wait for the duty finder before doing that then. Well, Alamigo sort of becomes a city-state, doesn't it? Like, isn't that sort of the whole point? Like, you know, it has the purpley eagle right there. Admittedly, not as cool as Norma. Although I really wish, you know, we get to explore the rest of Hingashi at some point. Or go a little bit more this way. Because, like, this is cool. This is neat. You know, there's still... The fact that the map still has all of this cloud as well, it's like, you know, I know it's there. I've been there. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's actually connected to... Well, yeah, actually, it's a good point, because it's like, technically, Alamigo would continue this way, I suppose. But it's just like, you get the Alamigan quarter of Alamigo. That's actually a good point. Why is it called the Alamigan quarter when it's in Alamigo? Like, normally that's like an ambassador's section. Like, you know, if you went to Hingashi, it's like, you know, you have the Garlean consulate. So, you know, that would be like the Garlean quarter kind of thing. You wouldn't have the Garlean quarter in Garlemald. Like, that sounds absurd. But yes, okay. Touche, Griffins, I apologize. But, you know, Griffin with a sword, that is pretty badass. Yeah, it would be... Because, I mean, this is a very wide map. Because, I mean, from here, you have the South Seas down here. Then you have Meracedia. So I'd love to see if they just expand the map down that way a bit more. Because if you do South Seas, then that's like a section which is like pretty much all about the Lalafell, because that's where they came from. And then you get to Meracedia, and that's all the dragons, and you then get a lot of Allergan shenanigans going on, considering what the Allergans did to Meracedia. Oh, it makes sense. Like, it makes sense why under Garlean rule it would be called the Alamegan Quarter, but surely at this point you'd like to rename it, if nothing else, just the branding of it. That makes sense. Yeah, it's... I'm trying to remember. It didn't vibe as well as it probably could have. No, I haven't done the healer one. My main is jobs and classes Dark Knight. That's my personal favorite. This is my normal aesthetic, because I absolutely love the katana from... So what we want about Stormblood? We got some cool katanas. This, although to be fair, this is an absurdly long... This is a Sephiroth tier katana going on right there. I can't imagine that's a bad thing. Because I need a level more of a healer. But it's one of those things, so I don't want to level it on stream, which is where I do a lot of my leveling, because it's like, you know, sometimes leveling can get quite boring. So it's nice to then just be like, oh, I'm just chatting with people while I'm doing it. So it makes leveling so much more entertaining. But then there's that counterpoint of, well, I don't want to level a healer that... You have to pay attention. Like, as a ranged DPS, I can just look over, look at chat, whatever. And just run around in a circle, you know, strafe and shoot. That's the extent of my ranged DPS requirements. Oh, a fruit. Oh, I absolutely hate this, because it's like, you wait 11 minutes and you go into something that it's like, well, this is going to be done in a couple of minutes. You're not going to get a ton of XP for it. Although I'm sort of in two minds about having role quests, because I think the biggest thing is the role quests replace the class ones in a way. And while it's cool to, like, say for my Dark Knight to go back to Sigurd, I'm just going to call him Sigismund, because that's a cool name, and be able to talk about, you know, what I've been doing about saving the world and everything. There's just something special about a proper class quest that's a bit tailored. In both, you know, the fact that it's... obviously tailored for your class, but it's also then thematically tailored, so like a full mini-story. It gives you a reason to look at other classes. Yeah, I'll be I was very disappointed by the ones in Endwalker, admittedly. At least the tanking one. I reckon Endwalker is going to be a big learning experience for Square Enix. I think the quests in the role quest in Shadowbringers wasn't too bad because that was like a full story. But the one in Endwalker could have been better. Oh, I think probably because I did the tank one, it's like why it would have been the worst. There wasn't like there wasn't really much of a tanking challenge in it as well. So even like on a mechanical gameplay level, it wasn't overly enjoyable either. Oh, that's not great news, Power. I'm definitely willing to take your word on it. Which is a bit of a shame. Because you sort of... I'm not going to, you know, be super entitled to be like, I expect better from you, Final Fantasy, but I do expect... You expect slightly more quality. Well, I think they're probably focusing more on the main line story. Which... Yeah, I've got... my own set of... opinions on here and there, which overall I think Endwalker was pretty solid. Definitely, I reckon on it, like of all the expansions I've done though, even on a narrative level, I still reckon Shadowbringers comes first. Shadowbringers is probably still my favorite overall story. Like that everything with like, oh, it was just quality. Yeah, and hopefully, like, we get to do more with the elementals, because surely, in theory, there must be elementals elsewhere as well. Like, surely Gridania doesn't have exclusive rights to elementals. I'd be very surprised if they did. Because it might just be a case that Gridania is way more aware of them because they have that genetic trait of people who can talk to the wood. Because that's the whole point of the Casey? Oh, I can't remember her name. The city-state leader for Gridania. Well, I think Endwalker was sort of meant to hit harder. They did really do all the extra little things to really ensure that it did. I'm really glad they actually decided to add an ending to the story. But I think they've probably got a few lessons to learn. Yep, Kani Senna. Thank you. There's like her and I assume the two kids there are like hers. If not, quite strange. But like the Seed Seers being able to talk to them, but no one else can. It's like, oh, how does that work? There's a lot of questions to still be answered. And I think that's fantastic for a game, because it's a case of, well... you have mystery left. And that means you can go places, and you can end stories. And, oh, it's just... It's solid. I'm a big fan of how it does it. Oh yeah, well I think they really did do what Final Fantasy does really well, and that's experiment. And I have no doubt that they would have learned a lot of lessons from everything they saw. They're her siblings. Okay, that... You sure? They're young enough to be her kids. Then again, I might be underestimating how old she is. You know, being leader of a city-state might age you a fair bit. Or they're just, you know, little people. I don't know. Yeah, because there was the covenant struck between the Gridanians and the Elementals, so they could actually vibe in Gridania, which was originally belonging to the Ixal, but the Ixal were just too violent for the Elementals to care about. Ah, okay, interesting. See, those little details are the ones we hopefully get to explore. Bloody hell. Well, I suppose then the question is, how did the Elementals give you that kind of bloody longevity? Because presumably it's up to your... It's up to the Elementals of why. Oh, good heavens. Oh, I did not have the best night bloody rest last night. Yeah, it must be up to the Elementals why they can live so long. How do they know when a Hajali is actually born? Because surely that implies there's some way we actually know when. Not enough time. Rip. That's not where I want to go. I want to go up here. Ah, okay. Well, yeah, no, that's fair. That makes a lot of sense. That's a pretty cool aesthetic. Let's see, can I just go see her? Oh, I still need to get around to doing coils. Every time I see that entrance, because I've done... Where are we? It's a trial, I'm pretty sure. Is it a trial? No, it might be a... raid, yeah. So I got up to this one, and then there's an instant kill mechanic, and I couldn't get past it because I was a Dark Knight, so I didn't have enough damage, just enough damage. So I still need to get around to doing it. I'm not surprised that you want to keep your kid away. I don't think I can. I've listened to answers. I've seen up to that point, but yeah. It's as far as I went on the coils. Which I might be able to do now because I've got the extra 10 levels of DPS worth of DPS. Yeah, I was just thinking because I just couldn't at level 80. I think I was like 15 odd % out, but with the, you know what? Let's give it a go. Let's give it a rock and go. Where are we? Unrestricted party. Let's see if I remember this. Yeah, I really like. It gives you a reason to do all of the jobs. It's like I need to understand what's going on. Wait, Epic Echo? Increases... Oh, sweet. Yeah, I heard they were going to do some... Now I need to remember what the shenanigans with this fight was. Oh yeah, no, this should be way easier. I'm trying to save cooldowns. Because I think there's... Like, yeah, she does the rocks, and if the rocks get close to each other, they, like, become absurdly invulnerable, and it's a pain in the ass. Oh, I just actually realised their name, Dalamud Swan. Okay, alright. I always was too frustrated with this boss to actually have a proper look around and enjoy it. Ooh, should I be concerned if you haven't struggled on the warrior? Because you just fell cleave like a motherfucker and win, don't you? How though? Like, there's always some crazy people who manage to do things like that, but I don't understand how. Oh, is this the final boss of 1.0? Okay. Oh, of course, Deus Darnus. That makes sense. I'm watching videos of the final days of 1.0 are crazy. Oh, son of a bitch! I hate that pushback. I completely forgot about it. Oh. I don't know why they call them the White Raven. Those aren't very raveny wings. Person. Not surprised. Screw you, Nail of Deus Janus. Well, I found it very interesting that Gaius was the one who actually told their Eorzeans where Dalamud was going to drop. So Louis Soir could try and stop it. From my readings. Okay, that makes sense. Then again, most of the Gallian armor is pretty white. Like, most people do it that way. It was only really oh no, most like commanders do white. I should probably specify. Because like most of the people who are obsessed with oh, maybe I'm just thinking of that one chick from Praetorium. Actually. Now that I think of it, I may have overestimated just how many people wore white. I mean, Gaius just in general, he's a cool dude. Alrighty. Oh fuck, it's only 6 seconds. I popped that way too early. Alright, how do I avoid that? Oh, okay, good. Perfect. There we go. I just needed to not die to that one thing. Perfect. Now to remember what the story of the coils were. Yes, GG, no re. Hopefully, there are no other bosses like that. Oh, because some of the things in this have been a little on the more frustrating side. Ooh, elegant weapon, you say? Oh well, yeah. Okay, understandable. What? Oh, is that weapon? I could understand. Oh, they can't be. Can be used. Huh? Weird. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean by the white armor. Oh, that blue mage is another one I still have to get around to. I keep forgetting that Alize had the same outfit as Alphino did. I'm starting to see how doing this earlier probably would have been helpful for understanding the story. Because I've now read about this, because I had the Aorzean Chronicles, but I really should have gotten around to doing this. Omegascape was the other one that I really needed to get around to, because I think there was like hints of Dynamis in that. Interesting move to assassinate the person who is dying anyway. They really do crazy eyes very well as well, like I should mention. I'm not surprised only 5, like the fact that level 80 couldn't do it solo was like, bloody hell. I could only imagine doing this like when it was current. Especially harder difficulties. That must have sucked. Oh, hello, Bahamut. How you going? Cool armor? Oh, you don't have a bottom half. That's... Are those lasers like reconstituting him? That looks... Oh, I suppose it makes sense for Allergan stuff to be around. Like, Allergan terminals. Yes, I have seen the Flames of Truth. You can't avoid not seeing that. So, I saw the big laser. I've YouTubed it. Unless there's like, I've YouTubed answers, so I don't know if there's anything else. Like the thing that was rolled at the end of Final Fantasy XIV. 1.0. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I knew Bahamut was killed by the Allagans in the Mericidian campaign, and then brought back by Tiamat, and then killed by the Allagans, except technically they were void-driven Allagans. Or at least the ones that got Bahamut reborn. That was rude. They really didn't do like the crazy concern that they did before. It was just like, I just looked back and... You can clearly see they got a lot better with character movement. Okay, so Louis Suarez got primal. Not great. Not great at all. So, Louis Suarez managed to get the dragon, but got captured at the same time. I thought he used his own aether to, like, fuck him up. I didn't realize that he lived, but Bahamut took him over, even though Bahamut would have died. What? I am confused. This is really cool, though. Like, this is a cool aesthetic. Where's the... That is screenshot worthy. How does one get out of here? Ooh. A lot more leeway than I thought you did on running around here. Oh, there's the exit. That would make sense. Okay, in that case, there is a lot left to learn on this one. Thank you. Well, looking at the time, I might call the stream there. As I said, so this Saturday I will start Crosscode, or at least Saturday for me. I'll start Crosscode, and then the Sunday I might do Coils first, admittedly, just to have that on record, and then go back onto the Final Fantasy XII. Definitely not a speed run. Definitely not a speed run, but the Final Fantasy XII playthrough, and then probably continue Crosscode Final Fantasy XII until I finish 12, and then probably go back to chill leveling for a while until the next game series, which might be... I'm almost tempted to do Nier Automata after 12, because that's some quality stuff. Or at least, like, I think it's quality. Because I've done, like, the first bits of it, but I never properly did it. So actually having the time to go through. Oh, now I can use these. So actually having the time to go through and do it properly is quite nice. That's a pretty cool sword. Oh, that's nice. Basic, classy. Quite a fan. Oh yeah, like if that introduction, the demo is anything to go by, I'm excited for those. So yeah, I'm gonna throw together some what you call it, thumbnail for it now. Put up the, you know, hey, the scheduled stream. So, you know, give it a click, and what you call it. English has failed me today. But yeah, reminder. That's the ticket. So yeah, you know, set the reminder. So there'll be 2 streams this week, and probably for a fair while, unless something comes up. Just to, you know, start stretching my streaming capacity a bit. And the next video will also be out this Saturday, which I'll record later today as well after I do the schedule stuff. But until next week, thank you for actually spending the time and joining me for the stream. I really do appreciate it. So hopefully, Crosscode Saturday, it'll be a good time. But till then, guys, I'll catch you later.